everyone, it's Jeannie here. I'm so glad to be joined by a country singer and the star of the new film Moonrise, Granger Smith. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
So I didn't get to see the full movie yet. I'm really excited about the premiere tonight. But I got the heart of it. I was able to see some clips and read just some of the stuff that's in the film. We're in the holidays, and 2020 I think was a hard year for many, right?
Yeah.
And I think what it did is it kind of leveled everyone. If you didn't know what grief was, you knew what grief was after that year.
Yeah.
So I'd love to talk to that. I know the film deals with grief. I know you are no stranger to grief. Neither am I. So I'd love to kind of talk to that, and just if you can talk to people in this season where grief has just kind of overtaken them, what would you say?
That there is a way forward. I think that's what this film is going to, the ultimate message of this film is going to be, there is hope, there is peace, there is rest on the other side of grief. You will feel joy again. In fact, you could feel joy now simultaneously with grief. You just don't always see it because we got our face down and we're just kind of stuck.
Yeah, beautiful. So this is for the Christian Post, and I know that you're a man of faith and the film has faith. I'd love if you can share a little bit of your faith journey with us for those that don't know your faith journey. If you can kind of share just how that came about.
Yeah, I grew up in a Christian home, called myself a Christian for a long time, many years. Defended the faith, talked about my Christianity, showed up at church on Christmas Eve and Easter. Realized at some point I was a cultural Christian. That's what I claimed. That's what I claimed to be. That's what I claimed to be.
Wow.
That wasn't what God claimed me to be.
Wow.
Until I became a new creation. And then when that happened, and I craved His Word, and I dove into it, and I read, and I earnestly begged for the heart of stone to be removed, and I felt like I was a new creature again. I looked back on my life and said, man, I was a dog tag Christian. I had Christian printed on my dog tags in case I died, and they knew what kind of priest to hire.
Wow.
That was it.
What brought you to your knees? What was that thing?
It was all God.
Yeah.
It was all God.
Yeah. You just realized I've been cultural.
I had been rock bottom. I'd been on rock bottom. I had felt pain of the worst kind of my life. I tried to fix it, tried to heal myself, tried to read self-help books, tried to get up early, tried to work out, tried to eat right, tried to meditate, tried to medicate, tried to hallucinate. I don't know. You name all the Asians. I did them all. And until I finally realized there was no fixing myself. I could not fix myself. And then one day I heard a Billy Graham sermon on YouTube. And I realized, oh, this is kind of nice, kind of makes me feel nice. So I realized there was more, and I listened to another one, and then I listened to another one, and another, and then I've listened to hundreds of them.
Wow.
And then a friend sent me some more pastors, and I realized a lot of sermons are on YouTube. And I don't know why this never occurred to me. And then I was driving in my truck one day, and it was on March 1st, 2020. And I remember the blue sky and my hands on the steering wheel. And the pastor was talking, and he was preaching out of John 14. And he was reading, and he said, the disciple asked Jesus, Lord, why is it that you manifest yourself to us, but not to the rest of the world? Jesus replied to him, if anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and I will love him, and my Father will come to him, and we will make our home with him.
Wow.
And the pastor stopped and he said, that's not unconditional love.
Ooh.
That's profoundly conditional.
Wow.
And I thought right there, I thought, if anyone loves me, he will keep my word. I thought, what's his word? I don't know what his word is. But I felt love. I felt like I was an adopted son. I felt like I had an identity in him, and I didn't even know his word, so I just wanted to go home right then. I wanted to stop everything I was doing and pick up the Bible and start reading and start craving it and start going page after page because I didn't want to miss any words in his word.
That's beautiful. Wow. And here you are on fire right now.
Yeah.
I love it. So what do you want people to take from Moonrise?
There's a lot of people that hopefully will see this movie on accident. Like maybe they're just flipping through, maybe they're
Yeah.
flipping through Pure Flix, or maybe a friend texted them, hey, check out this movie. Maybe they accidentally see it sometime. I think there's going to be a lot of accidental viewings.
Wow.
And I hope that those people that find it by accident, which you and I don't believe in accidents anyway,
Right,
but that's
right.
what we'll call it. And they get into the movie and they get into the story and they realize they are this character a little bit. They are stuck. There is a way out. There is a way forward from the deepest, darkest grief that they're in right now.
Yeah.
There is light on the other side.
Well, that's great. You know, I'm a pastor's wife. So we're inundated with, you know, we do life with people. We're not just ministers that preach at you and then we go home and live our lives. We do life with people and it's really hard. It's really dark and sometimes. And it's also really amazing because you're like the mom and dad and you get to see your children succeed. But what I've noticed, and it was something that just kept sticking out to me when I read everything about Moonrise, a lot of people are stuck in trauma.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've all had trauma. We've all experienced trauma from as early as we can remember. Those things start to shape our lives. How do you not get stuck in trauma? I know you have your own testimony, I have mine, but I'd love if you can kind of share. There's so many people just really struggling to get past the childhood trauma or the grief trauma. How do you not get stuck there? What would you give practically advice? How would you advise people?
We start with creation. We have a creator that has planned and predestined and built and purposed everything. And if we just just that thought alone, we just soak that in for a second. Yeah. The alternative to that is out of nothing, one day some gases came out of nothing and formed something, which is impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mathematically impossible.
Right.
So the alternative to that is there is a creator that purposed everything, that built everything, that created everything for his purpose, for his glory. So then we rest in that and we go, I'm part of a purpose. That means my past is part of a purpose that's preparing me for something, like Paul says in 2 Corinthians. These light momentary afflictions are preparing us for an eternal weight of glory. So that's preparing us. And my past prepared me, and it's continuing to mold me and refine me for something. For what? So that's the question we start asking. Instead of why, we say, for what?
Right.
What is this preparing me for? What is this showing me? What is this molding me and refining me to be? So then that helps us to move forward and go, okay, then that means there's another chapter in my story.
Yeah.
This isn't it. This isn't the end of my book. There's another chapter because this is preparing me for that. What is that? Let's go. I don't know. I'm scared. That's okay. I'm walking in it. I'm walking with you, God. You're leading me through this. You know the end. I don't, but I'm going to walk with you. Then we're not stuck.
Yeah, I love that. That's the purpose behind the pain.
Yes.
That's beautiful. You're a singer. You in the film, I know that there's a moment where you kind of think of hanging it up and not doing it again. And I want to ask you, Granger, you're no stranger to loss.
Yeah.
What made you sing again?
I wish that I could give you like a really awesome theological, like really pretty, beautiful, heartfelt story to answer that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the truth. I wanted to distract myself. I wanted to get to work. I wanted to pay my guys that were on salary. I wanted to get out of Texas and get back on tour.
Yeah.
And forget.
Wow. So how are you now? Where do you find yourself now in the journey? So I'll share a little bit. I have lost 3 children. I now have my miracle son who's with us. He's only 1. But that's a pain that, like, I've never felt a pain like that. I don't think I'll ever feel a pain like that. I don't think the pain will ever go away. Parts of your heart, just get ripped from you. And I'm well because I found the purpose in my pain. But I'd love to hear where you are now in your process.
What's the name of your miracle baby?
Elionijah.
Elionijah.
Yep.
I have one too. His name's Maverick.
Yes.
So do you ever look at Elionijah and think, what is your purpose? Why are you here? What will you do? Because it's got to be something big.
All the time.
I look at Mav and I think, this little life exists because Rivers doesn't. Wow. Then why are you here? What are you here to do? So I just want to raise you the best I can, because you're here for a purpose, and so are your siblings, because we've all been through something.
Yeah.
I go forward now because the future is none of my business. I don't have a 5-year plan anymore. We used to have dream house and dream job and dream goals and visions and 10-year plans. That stuff is none of my business. I have today. Wow. I'm sitting here with you in this interview. That's as real as it gets. That's all I really have.
Wow.
And what I know is, from this interview with you, we are using our pain for a purpose to help others. Yeah. So that right there says it is not meaningless. Our pain, our loss was not meaningless. It matters for something. We have no idea the seeds we're planting right now. And we probably never will on this side of heaven. Yeah. But that's okay. So we continue to move forward, knowing that that's what matters.
I love it. Granger, you are so outspoken. I watch some of your podcasts. I love the advice that you give. You have a whole career. You have, a following. What keeps you so outspoken like that in a world where everyone wants to cancel people?
Because I fear God more than man. I'd rather please my God than please a man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Well, I'm done here. Is there anything else that you'd like to
No, you're awesome.
add?
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was so serious.
It's okay. That's all right.
I like the heart stuff, and
oh, that's okay.
I felt it was heavy, but I'm happy. Thank you so much.
Of course.